The name of the game is we're going to move something offline. You can sell online till forever. And yes, I know how delicious it is to think that I'm just going to sit behind a computer and type away and join all of the groups and move every product and service that I have online. But I want to remind you today in 2023 that my life and my life's work dictates that I built a seven-figure business, a multiple seven-figure business without even touching the internet. And not only did I do it, I did it in an industry that was tech-based, which means that I really should have and could have used the internet. But I'll be honest with you, that thing was so overwhelming. I was like, oh my gosh, I got to press all 5 buttons. Oh my gosh, you want me to do what? What you said? Social media? Can't do that. Can't fool with it. Now, today in the companies that I run, absolutely social media plays a pretty big role. But I transparently want to tell you that as we think about the rest of our year and next year, et cetera, everything that I would say 80% of what we are planning, looking at, focus on has to do with our offline strategy, not our online strategy, period. Now, offline tactics and offline selling is nothing more than you saying to your local market, your regional market, hey, I am here and I can. One of the things that I love most about what are them people called multi-level marketers? Multi-level marketers are like the gangster of gangsters who walk through these streets and they pick up people and they corner them in grocery stores and they hover in the parking lots and tell them about their isogenics. And if it's not that, is the Avon order going in on Friday? And I tell you, sweet Jesus, you say to yourself, how do you have that much courage, stamina, consistency? They are just clear. They know that it's a numbers game. And they also know that after 100 people, someone's going to be like, okay, fine, I'll order a lipstick. Someone's going to be like, okay, all right, fine, I'm going to go ahead and get that shake. Your responsibility is to ask yourself, okay, how much money do I need to make sure? And what do I need to do it? Now, the other way that I want to introduce this concept is to constantly be selling. And I don't want it to be as much as selling as it is for me positioning. I really have to emphasize the word positioning. I've doubled down on the word brand earlier in this series, but positioning is like my very best friend because I feel like positioning will triumph everything. It has allowed us to not be consistent and to not be doing the same thing every single day. I'm not saying we wouldn't win if we did it, but some seasons people have been sick. Drama has happened. We're pacing the floor. We have to figure out something new. And it doesn't allow, it realistically, humanly does not allow for us to be doubled down and do the same thing every single morning. So what has carried our companies is the positioning. One of the coolest things ever is that I get all the time, oh my gosh, aren't you from that company? Oh my gosh, aren't you such and such? Oh, I'll tell you, the other day I was at Starbucks and this lady saw me wearing a t-shirt and she goes, you're not, are you? Oh, and I go, Matt. And she was like, yeah, he's here every morning and such and such and such and such. And he's so cool. And I'm always intrigued by do the damn thing and such and such and such and such. There's this barista. Now she's talking, running her mouth. And then the guy behind me is like, oh yeah, I see them all the time. Da, 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 da. And that there's this whole 2-second conversation around one of our team members who frequently indulges in controversial cold coffee. And he is standing there saying nothing to the world other than being himself in brand and branded. In brand and branded. 2 things, okay? In his visual identity, showing up being his best self. And the reality is that now, because of his frequent walk or presence in the community, in addition to myself, EL, Marcus, the next woman, the next man, the clients that are coming in. We had 11 women who got off planes last week, were walking through the city, and half of them had their do the damn thing shirt. Now we've got a ton of people walking around and visually representing the company. It sounds nuts, but I'm going to tell you, it's called market share. Because the truth of the matter is that if I were to send out a postcard, probably in these 2 or 3 zip codes, I guarantee that there's at least another 10% above what would have happened who will go, oh, I've seen them. I've seen them around. I've seen them around. So they're going to entertain what's on the postcard. They're going to entertain a phone call. At this point, they're going to entertain whatever it is we have to say. I want to give you, I'm going to ask the man himself to come on camera. Please welcome to the stage, the one, the only, the one that we are all waiting for, where our dreams rest. Please bring into the stage the one and only, the Matt Gill.
I was back over there.
He was getting ready.
Like, let's go.
He's getting in the ring.
Let's go.
Now, for those of you who don't know, Matt Gill is the coolest ever, but he runs all of the he's the production manager for DTDT. And one of the neatest things ever is to be behind him as people stop him, or people stop someone or ask questions just about something they have seen. Now, right now, he happens to have on a Do the Damn Thing shirt. And if I were to pull another team member who's here in the studio, they too have a Do the Damn Thing shirt. Now, Matt looks cool all the time, but I really want to emphasize the fact that he's in brand. I'm going to ask you, Matt, to just talk for a couple of minutes about what happens when we're outside. And also, I want him to tell you a story. I'm going to actually ask him to tell you the story of when we all had to, when I ran into the studio and said, everybody come outside, we got to go outside, because something was going down in the center of the downtown. We were like, wait a second. I got to have you tell the story, because that for me was another moment.
Right.
Because everybody's outside randomly. We also had a client here who was recording in the studio. My kids were here, and it was like knee deep. But there was a big difference of what we visually saw and who was there and the presence we took up.
What I love about the name Do the Damn Thing and the statement of Do the Damn Thing.
That's two different things. You're right.
Yeah, this first thing that people see when they capture this is like, it's a self-conviction. And I've noticed that how many times people have been like, like they think about it for a moment. And then there's this agreement, then there's almost an ownership of whatever they thought about for a moment. So the shirt says something before they even interact with me. They see it, they're engaged with it, and they're like, or they ask the question, like, what is the damn thing?
And you know what, though? I'm going to cheat, because even as he's talking, I'm thinking, it's not even just this shirt. It's the disruptiveness of whatever is happening.
Right.
Because even when you wear your other favorite shirt, your actual favorite shirt, which is Nope, Karen, Not Today. And then the other one, which is I Don't Have Time to Manage
Your Insecurities.
Your Insecurities. It doesn't have a Do the Damn Thing logo on it at all. But it has the same energy and feel. Every day before he finishes, every single day when you walk out, we should be able to identify who you are and what you're about. If you're always in plain clothes, like, I know this is going to sound crazy, but you're just leaving so much brand equity and money on the table. Like, it's the same reason why the Avon ladies used to wear the pins. Right. Or the Mary Kay women have the cars.
Right. You have to think of yourself almost as a walking billboard. And actually, friends of mine have been, hey, Matt, I'm going to send you my shirt. Can you wear my shirt? Because they know that my brand now and what I stand for is I wear my message on my chest. I want you to know what I stand for, and remarks, and I'm very intentional with shirts that I wear. Like, more than likely, you're going to see me in a black shirt, but it's going to have some type of statement. Or if there's another color shirt, it's going to have a statement. It's going to be something that reflects me, what I believe, who I support, what I want to put, the message that I want to push forward into the world. So what I love about our shirts is they are bold statements. They say something before I do. Now, the thing is that when I'm wearing that statement, I feel that statement.
When I'm wearing that statement, I feel that statement.
So I already know that as I walk down the street or walk in a crowd or walk whenever I do something, I am going to attract attention. The reason why we are sometimes afraid of wearing a shirt that has a bold statement is we're trying to hide. We're trying to fit in. We're trying to, let me just be a part of the crowd.
Correct.
You have to stand out in the market. There's so much busyness that's happening out there that you have to go out and be like, hey, people, I'm here.
Yep, for sure.
And when I walk down the street, you're going to see me blocks away. There's a presence, there's a confidence, there's a thing that I carry that when you have your statement and you're in alignment with your truth, with your values, nothing can intercept that. But your message, your light, your glow is what shines and what people like. Have you ever seen people that go and look at you and they like, what are they looking at?
Yep, for sure.
It's this. It's what's in here. It's the essence of you. It's the power in you. And the shirt just goes through and has that disruptive message of now I've got your attention even more.
Mm-hmm. And you know, the coolest thing about it though is that it sets the tone, so that way you've earned the right before you open your mouth to start a sales conversation or to start an opportunity conversation, because like you're showing up with all the pieces and they come in through the door. So like in theory, if he was to go, hey, you know, the Arizona welcome committee people, and he walked in through the door, he's like, we're starting a conversation before the conversation has, which lets down all the guards and puts people more at ease. It's no different than the sales guy who used to come to our homes and sell like satellite dishes or phone. No, it's the truth.
Right.
Like, think about it. If they were in an army fatigue and jeans and they were like, you know, I got satellite for you, you'd be like, we're not home. Right. But the second that you saw a polo shirt with a little logo and a clipboard,
right,
arms down, guard down. Selling, people believe that selling is how well you speak or talk. No, it's actually setting up the sale before you begin to talk. And I wanted to cover in this way because first, second, third, fourth is the visual identity for me of what's happening before the conversation happens. The second thing for me that I'm going to say is literally just showing up and being public in places. Like, I don't need, like, I know it sounds crazy, but outside of knocking on doors, which I'll teach and talk to, I want you to consider one day a week going out into your community, being present somewhere. And I don't mean these foolish networking events. I'm sorry to give them the name that they deserve. I'm sorry to publicly give them the name that they deserve. I'm sorry. But there are things happening in your community, and you just need to show up and be there and walk around. We have this joke. You know, one of the things that I want to do as soon as the weather begins to behave itself, there's two things that I'm going to be doing. One, I want to wrap a vehicle. I know it sounds crazy, but the old school tactics of like putting the magnet on the side of the car and all that stuff works. Yeah. It's all visual.
I still read of this stuff that comes.
For sure. Or you take out your phone and take out the picture real quick. So like think of starting the sale or generating a lead, wrapping a vehicle. The other thing that I want to do, we have something here called First Friday. And I'm determined to figure out how do I get like a year-long presence there where we do nothing more than just have a presence. I'm toying with shirts. I'm not sure if selling a thing, but if we're all branded and we're visibly there, we're going to instantly see 4,000 people effortlessly, you know? And there are festivals, there are conventions, there are outdoor things just happening. You just need to physically be there and be present.
What I love is that in downtown, the Do the Damn Thing name has a huge presence. People see us walking around with it, and they know that name.
Yeah, for sure.
In multiple places, in some of the restaurants and the stores, the grocery stores that are nearby. And people are always, hey, or, you know, I got in the car the other day, actually, with one of the drivers, and he saw the shirt, and he goes, yeah, he's like, you know, I saw somebody else with that shirt a couple weeks ago. And I was like, really, where? He's like, in Scottsdale. I was like, Scottsdale.
That's interesting.
It's really great that he has this memory of the shirt and the statement that's on the shirt.
Setting up the sale. So we talked about how you visually look and the tactics of being outside in your neighborhood, in your community. But I want to emphasize this willingness to just go and knock on a door. I know this is going to sound crazy, but I feel like at a minimum, if you could design a round table, an open house, a get to know you, or like even inviting them to be interviewed or part of your world, building an intentional relationship with like 50 people, I feel like is the next move for every person in their city. I learned this. I got reminded of this from Candace, because Candace talked, just, you know, really process this. My best friend, her name is Candace. She sold 2 multiple 7-figure businesses in her past. And I learned branding and how to build a brand really from watching her. When she moved to a new city, she left Chicago and she decided she was going to go in a super slow lane. I feel like it's the not moving lane, but that's a different conversation. But she moved to this city and she said, I needed to quickly know people. Didn't know anybody. And I thought to myself, at this level of her game, she still went, I need to know people.
Right.
And then she just got on the phone and was like, hi, mayor such and such. Hi, how you doing? I'd like to meet with you. Legislators, the community college, I was going to say CEO, but dean, et cetera, et cetera. And she started inviting them to coffee meetings. And, you know, when she said that, this is last year when she said in December, I was like, not like, oh, that's crazy. But I said, so basic, so right. And even for myself, it's part of my next focus and initiative as we focus on a community touch and feel. I'm going to go and meet all the people.
Yeah.
It's like to be connected is one thing, but to be positioned where you say, I am doing this thing over here. I want y'all to always know. How can you be the best kept secret online and offline? You got to pick one and not be the secret.
Yeah. I think too many people hide behind their computer. We're
over it.
Yeah. You got to get out. You got to get out and you got to show up. Like, show up online, yes, but you got to show up offline in your community, in the people, in the places that you want to impact the most.
I would say also, as I end this, that being offline, selling offline, I think is mentally freeing walking into 2024 for everybody. I mean, the internet's a great place and social media is fantastic. But I got to tell you selfishly, I've watched so many of the people I know, people on our team, who have been able to spend a little bit more time offline, just in the community, doing human community things, and they are thriving and looking more delicious because of it. You know, like, I don't know how else to say that. And it's good for the soul, it's good for the heart, and it's good for the creativity of what could be. The end.
Get out there.
Do something offline, way offline, over there. You're welcome.